order? Where? You sure it's an Equinox truck? Okay, any ID on the hijackers? No, listen, if it's Sonny's people, I'm going to deal with it. We need to figure out who the hijackers are. Oh, Bernie, it's a semi. It's not going to be that easy to hide. Can you just get our men out looking for the truck and find the truck? Okay, I'm going to call you back. Stay in touch.
I know, Spinelli's not here. I came to see you.
You shouldn't be here either.
Well, you say that every time, but here I am just the same, and I think you're glad even though you won't admit it. Because I came here to talk to you about Spinelli. He's upset. He can't stop thinking about that deal you made with the FBI. Not that there officially is a deal, but something obviously went on, and he thinks he let you down.
Well, he didn't. Because Spinelli was following my orders. That makes me responsible.
That's why you saved him, right? I mean, speaking for myself, I'm very grateful, but also selfish. Spinelli's the most generous person I know, and he feels like he ruined your life. Do you always have to be so silent? It's not very
What do you want?
I understand that communication isn't exactly your strong point, but Spinelli is beside himself. Doesn't understand why you wouldn't tell him about the deal.
It doesn't matter if he understands or not, Maxie.
But he hero worships you, and he thinks you're mad at him.
I'm the reason that Spinelli got involved in illegal activities in the first place.
That is not true. When you found him, he was working for Alcazar. Spinelli thought of this thing as a big computer game from the very beginning. But now he understands how wrong it is, and he feels like you're being punished for his mistake. I am worried he's going to do something stupid.
Like what?
It's the jackal. Anything is possible.
No, there's nothing I can do about that.
Yes, there is. You can tell me what the deal is. What kind of deal did you make with the FBI to let Spinelli go?
None of your business.
You obviously don't understand how traumatized Spinelli is, but how would you? You never pay attention to his feelings. I'm worried. Do you remember when he went after the Russians with that gun and all the other stupid things he did to try and prove himself to you?
He's past that now.
I'm not so sure. But I think if you talk to him about what's going on with you, he might calm down.
Just let me say this. Spinelli is free. He was going to go to prison for a long time. Do you think he's the type of guy who would do well in prison? All charges have been dropped. That's all anyone needs to worry about.
But why? What did you do? Spinelli was already in a terrible place when those FBI guys arrested him. We had a really bad fight. I think maybe I mentioned that to you. I said all these horrible, hurtful things to him. But what made it worse is I was just trying to keep him away from Winifred. Not that I knew she was a Fed, but I thought it was very weird how she was following him around all the time. And I slept with him.
That doesn't even make any sense.
It does if you care about how Spinelli feels. That night we spent together was so sweet and beautiful. And then when he found out I had an ulterior motive, we had an even bigger fight. He was really, really upset, and I told him how he was a geek and a nerd and no one would ever want to be with him, even though that's not true. My point is, it is possible to hurt Spinelli's feelings when you're trying to help him, especially when you're trying to help him.
Stop, please. What I did to get Spinelli released was my choice. I'm not going to discuss that with Spinelli, and I'm definitely not going to discuss it with you.
But Spinelli feels like he really messed up. He feels like you're paying the price.
He needs you. That's what he needs right now. So don't let him down. Don't get mad at him, and don't sleep with him unless you mean it. Just be his best friend. You guys don't think about the FBI stuff anymore, both of you. Stop.
In other words, don't let this awful deal be made in vain.
Yeah, please. Because if you calm down, he's going to calm down. You just pay attention to him, make sure he doesn't do anything stupid. If he starts obsessing about the deal, you tell him not to worry, that I'm going to do whatever it takes to keep him safe.
Hi.
Hey.
I know, I should have called.
Are you okay?
Yes, I'm good. Amazingly good. Are you in the middle of something?
No, come in.
No. It's good to see you.
You too.
We barely crossed paths since before the wedding.
It's probably just not safe, for you to be here.
Oh, come on. Anyway, Patrick and I, we moved across town, much further away, so I just wanted to make sure you had our address.
Okay.
Can we?
Yeah.
And, well, while I was unpacking, I was going through all of my stuff, and I found some pictures of Emma, and I realized you've never even seen her.
I'm just so glad she's part of your life. Wow.
Isn't she cute?
She is beautiful. That's great.
So what do you think? Do you think she looks more like Patrick or more like me?
I think she looks like a baby. A happy and healthy baby.
Yeah. She is, you know, most of the time. And I try to be a happy, healthy mom, but I don't, I don't know. I'm sorry. I had nobody else to talk to, and what was it like when Carly had postpartum depression?
I'm not sure Carly would want me to say anything. But
It's not really about Carly, it's about her situation.
yeah,
When did she realize that there was a problem?
when she was afraid to touch Michael.
And that happened right when he was born?
Yeah. I mean, Michael was really sick, and Carly was sick, and she didn't really get a chance to hold Michael, but, you know, she wanted to connect with him, you know, to try to at least touch him, so I took her down to the nursery, and Michael was right there in the incubator, and I just remember she really tried. She did try to do it, but she couldn't, and she panicked, and I had to take her back up to her room.
Oh, Carly's always been a problematic mother.
A couple days later, she came to me and she said, I gotta get out of here. I gotta leave Port Charles. You gotta give me money so I can get out of here.
Yeah, that's right. She abandoned her baby.
Right, but she promised she'd come back, and that's exactly what Carly did. And no matter how much she tried to make herself touch him, she could not do it because she was afraid that she was gonna do something wrong, you know, mess him up somehow. But with all the other crazy stuff Carly had going on in her life, it's
Well,
just...
you know, I mean, I'm nothing like Carly. I never have been. I don't have any issues with holding Emma. I certainly would never abandon her.
Yeah, you've been great with babies. I mean, you taught me how to deal with Michael, remember?
Yeah, that was pretty simple back then when we lived in that little cottage together.
Robin,
What?
you have your own child. I mean, you have a great life, and Emma is so lucky to have you for a mother.
Thanks for saying that. I really needed to hear that.
Why are you so upset about this?
Well, because Patrick suggested that, you know, that there's something wrong. I have some problem with being a mother, and that I just don't want to admit it.
But why would you even suggest that?
Because he's a perfectionist. He likes to worry, you know, and we're both doctors, so if there's a glitch, we just slap a diagnosis on it.
I mean, well, are you having, problems with Emma?
You know, I think we all need to just relax. I needed to talk to you. I feel better now.
Well, hold on. I don't even know anything about postpartum depression except for what Carly went through, but I know it's for real, and you can get help, you know? So if you think there's a problem...
Well, there's no, because there's not a problem.
Well, there's nothing wrong with asking for help,
Which
you know
is
that,
exactly
right?
what I did, and I appreciate you talking to me about it. And thank you. I really do... I feel better.
Yeah, no, I'm on my way. I just, I'm trying to leave. I just got held up, so I'll be there. Now someone's at the door. So, listen, just keep up the surveillance on the Zakars, but clear everything with me first.
There's something you need to know. I know why you showed up at my house the other night. It had nothing to do with the shipment. Spinelli came by.
He came to your house?
Yeah. He said the FBI busted him for treason and other serious crimes, and he started babbling something about the death penalty. I don't understand half of what he says. But as they were hauling him off to prison, all the charges were dropped. You got him off, didn't you? Is that what happened?
Yeah.
You made a deal to save Spinelli.
Yeah, that's right.
You promised to give me up to the feds, didn't you?